we move to the next lab, which is the Multilocal Lab. And I would like to welcome Titta Maru from the University of Tartu to present the lab.
Hello to everyone. My name is Titta Maru. I'm the professor of urban and population geography at the University of Tartu. And it's my great pleasure to introduce you the Multilocal Lab. That is an area, it's a lab that is in the Tartu County in Estonia. Tartu is the second largest city, and the study area consists of 160,000 people. And the motivation for setting up the Multilocal Lab relates to the two interesting new phenomena that are taking place in Estonia and in many other countries. We see quite important changes in the residential mobility patterns. We see that multilocal living arrangements are on the rise, and all these trends have amplified by Corona pandemic and the digital transition that accelerated during the pandemic as well. And the outcome of our project will be a digital tool that allow to make medium and long-term local level decisions and plan both the public services, but also understand maybe how the public budgets could change as a result of the mobility and multilocal ways of living. So we hope to improve and provide some policy recommendations in this field. So the biggest challenge that we would like to address is how to rethink the local level public services, their provision, but also the formation of the public budgets at the municipality level as a result of these changes in residential mobility and multilocal living. And what do we mean more specifically with these changes in residential mobility? So based on the literature and also our earlier studies in Estonia, we see three important changes that are taking place. First, what we do see is that the mobility patterns of families and also families with underage children have been changed. So there is more and more families with children who do not move only to the suburban and ex-urban areas, but also to the more remote rural places within the urban regions and then beyond, and also to those areas that are considered to be depopulating. So in many places, depopulation is the big trend, but it overshadows some interesting changes when it comes to the migration of families and children. The other important new pattern, what we do see relates to the social, occupational, or income compositions of the movers as well. And again, what we do see, especially since the outbreak of the Corona pandemic, that these people more and more move also outside to the cities, again, not only to suburban, but also to ex-urban and then more remote areas. And it also applies to specific sectors like ICT sector and so on, although the baseline share of the ICT workers in rural areas is small, but we see that the shares are growing faster in rural areas compared to the big cities. And finally, as a result of these changes in the mobility, you also see that the kind of understanding of the rural and rural areas and the places are under the way, and their kind of traditional role as places of consumption are becoming more and more as places of living and residence, as well as places of consumption and consumption of different types of services. And the second element is the increase in multilocal living. Of course, people have already for decades and more had, especially urban families, their second homes in rural areas. But the use of second homes has been traditionally more like seasonal. But since the Corona pandemic, the increase in remote working and so on, we see that the moving between first homes and second homes has become more diversified on a weekly basis and so on. So the kind of complexities of both the living arrangements and mobility patterns have increased. And in this slide, we would like to then understand this challenge of how the local level budgets are formed, because local income tax is the main source for income, but also what kind of services are needed in the local areas, what are still consumed in the cities, and what kind of services have moved to the web. So we adopt also the overall framework of the Future Resilience project with the foresight methodology. And in the first part of the project, we would like to understand better what are the trends in residential mobility and multi-local living in our case study area in the Tartu County. We developed some scenarios. We are especially strong in developing demographic scenarios, but we enrich them with also services related and public service provision related scenarios. We do it together with the local municipalities on the one hand, to get the more local view, but also the municipality associations to get the kind of fun regional view as well of what are the new trends of mobility and multi-local living and what kind of service needs have emerged. So we adopt the co-creation methodology, and then we also in the end try to assess how good are the solutions that we develop within our project. So we are in our lab. We have two core members. First is the University of Tartu, where we have most of people, and then we also have a think tank center led by Janno Järve, with whom we are closely working together, especially when developing the different digital tools to visualize the findings. And also we have many partners. Foresight Center of Estonia and municipalities and municipality associations in the Tartu County. So first of all, our motivation why we decide to put the bid and participate in this whole project is to learn. We really want to learn from other experiences, from the toolbox that has been developed within the Future Resilience project itself, from the Foresight Center of Estonia and then many partners we have. So that's first and big motivation for us. And second, we want to bring in return is a more kind of demographic understanding of the processes that relate to new mobility patterns of people, new living arrangements that would inform the decisions at the municipality level, at the region level, also not only in the short term perspective, but also in the medium and long term perspective. Thank you very much. And with this, I would like to finish my part.